family's waiting. I know it's an important day.
Isn't there someone who can help you?
Only Mom. I'm the man of the family.
This is a face not the word.
Remember when the tree lights hummed like tiny heaters, wrapping paper crinkled underfoot, and the sweet smell of nutmeg drifted from the kitchen? Back then, Christmas television wasn't just background. It was an event. Cowboys sang carols, Muppets quoted scripture, and one little boy tried to give Christmas to a friend who might not make it. These specials weren't slick or safe. They were messy, handmade, and full of heart. You don't see most of them now. Too many song rights, too much feeling for a tidy ad break. So pour some cocoa, dim the TV glow, and let's unwrap the weirdest, warmest Christmas shows from the 1960s and 70s that ever graced our living rooms, and we will never see again.
And Santa's afraid to come to Vietnam. Last year he only got as far as the first hole and he was picked up by the MPs.
The Homecoming, A Christmas Story, 1971.
Friends, you are my friends.
Now you hush with that disrespect. He's your president.
Before it was the Waltons, this TV movie tried out the porch, the mountain, and a tougher family tone. With different parents and edges, the weekly series later softened. You rarely see it now because the 97-minute holiday cut doesn't snap into today's ad breaks, and the seasonal window makes schedulers skip it.
So the thing that struck me was Pat Neal.
I remember the faint ozone buzz of the TV tubes and our baseboard heater ticking, like the film's train rumble echoing through our house. For a minute, home felt bigger than our street. I didn't want it to end.
Travelers are being given food and lodging by local churches and the Red Cross.
But why did a network make a beloved carol quieter on purpose? Next up, the case of the Christmas choir that vanished on TV.
I set a good example with these children. You go acting like a crazy man.
The Carpenters, A Christmas Portrait, 1978.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And welcome to the joy of the holiday season.
It's that time of year when spirits are high.
Karen's Ave Maria is gorgeous.
Everyone else is going to enjoy my gift. You really have to leave me alone now, okay? So, out!
And here's the twist fans still argue about. Some broadcasts dropped the choir, leaving her voice floating like a chapel solo. That's part of why it's scarce now. Beyond music rights, it's a medley licensing maze. Guest clearances, and multiple 1978 edits that don't match modern ad maps. I remember fresh ink cardboard from gift boxes, tape nipping my fingertips, and Mom humming off key while Karen's voice warmed the room. For a moment, even the dog froze listening. The last note fades, and you want boots, snow, and quiet heroics. Which classic rides in from TV's dustiest trail?
The daily bread from which all the sandwiches of life are sliced.
Hi, how are you again?
I have some last-minute gift problems.
Don't worry. Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs.
The Lone Ranger Christmas Story.
Are you an outlaw?
My friend and I are on the side of the law.
No shootout here, just a masked cowboy stopping Christmas from falling apart. Helping a whole town pull together instead of drawing a gun. You rarely see this one now because black and white holiday episodes get buried in old syndication bundles, and programmers chase color for December blocks. I remember a grainy print humming like fence wire, and Dad flicking an orange peel into the fire so the room went sweet smoky. The Ranger tipped his hat and rode off without a joke.
Well, can't you even tell me his name?
Well, they call him the Lone Ranger.
Pure, quiet grace. I kept staring at the screen after the commercial started, hoping the snow would keep falling. Next, the opposite kind of quiet. A choir that suddenly isn't there, and a room full of felt faces going still. John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together, 1979.
Now that we've wished everybody a Merry Christmas.
In the middle of jokes and carols, everything hushes for a nativity. Muppets calm, John Denver telling the story like he's sitting on church steps at midnight. Why no replays? Not just music rights, it's label ownership splits, guest clearances, and multiple master edits that don't match today's ad maps. I remember our old TV speaker crackling as Kermit eased into a carol, Coco forming that little skin I blew away and still burned my tongue. The house took one long breath. Then the mood flips from hush to party. Up next, a living room bar, a magic doorbell, and a host who keeps the flubs, because guests won't stop dropping by.
Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store. Save on sweaters and on hats.
The Dean Martin Christmas Show, 1968.
Roll your eyes, wobble your chins.
Dean hosts from a cozy set with a real bar and a doorbell that summons friends like a trick. Looks like Dean's been practicing his moves in the kitchen again. And those girls look like they're having the time of their lives. Dean really knows how to show a girl a good time. I wonder if he always dances like this when the music's on. He's got the moves, all right. I bet Dean has no idea what he's actually doing with his body right now. It's like he's trying to do the twist, but also a little bit of the cha-cha and failing miserably. Only Dean Martin could pull off dancing like this and still look cool. I bet his tailor was sweating watching him move like that.
Merry Christmas!
Well, at least he's having fun, even if we're all laughing a little at him. Those are some fashionable eyebrows for the swinging 60s. That mustache gives him a little something extra, like a villain from a silent film. He looks like a distinguished cartoon character now. He's definitely going to start some new fashion trends with this look. I still hear Dad laugh when the doorbell went ding, and another surprise guest wandered in. Ice clinked, tinsel flashed like tiny icicles, and for once the loose, grown-up vibe felt safer than perfect. Dean gave the camera one last wink, and we were home. Now we will open the door to a different kind of family. One that shows up early because December might not wait. Family affair. An early Christmas. A gentle sitcom does a brave thing. It brings Christmas early to a child who might not reach December, and the jokes step aside for real ache. That shock still lands today.
I wish I could say what you want to hear.
You rarely see this one now because heavy holiday stories test soft next to shiny specials, and a few music cues make reruns fussy.
Why, it's for a little girl named Eve.
I remember the quiet radiator hiss, the citrus sting of an orange on the counter, and tree lights blinking like tiny heartbeats. I held my breath, wanting TV to fix it. It didn't, but it made me call people I love. When the credits rolled, I needed noise and motion again. Get ready for sirens, snow, and a precinct that turns into Santa's workshop. Car 54, where are you? A Christmas episode.
Nicholson, Merry Christmas, Schnauzer. Mrs. Schnauzer? Schnauzer, look at the way that boy is growing. He's got your eyes.
That's Feldman's kid. He's parking the car.
Only this show could turn a station house into a toy factory. Cops mix up donations, chase the wrong parcels, and somehow make the whole block smile. It's goofy and warm, like a fruitcake that somehow works. You rarely catch it now because it's black and white and tucked into old syndication bundles while December TV chases color.
Hello? Okay, have it your way. He'll be a nuclear scientist.
I remember a snowy picture, tinny sound like a garage radio, and honest laughter that didn't feel canned. Dust from the old set, cocoa in the kitchen, and off-key carols that still made you grin. I wanted to climb through the screen and help sort gifts. Then the channel promised a different kind of present. Let's unwrap a galaxy gift full of chaos. The strangest holiday special ever aired. Star Wars Holiday Special, 1978.
Chewbacca? Yeah, we'll bring him to the screen. I want to say hello to him. You don't know where he is?
Yes, it's real. Wookiee Life Day. A grandpa watching odd holograms. B. Arthur singing in a cantina, and Jefferson Starship glowing like a space jukebox. It feels like late 70s TV shook itself onto Tatooine. You won't see it rerun because music and clip rights are a maze, and the people behind it tried to bury the whole thing.
So could you do me a favor and send either Chewbacca or Han Solo to the screen, please?
I watched a fuzzy tape with friends, passing stale candy canes and laughing until we cried. The audio warbled. Chewie's family looked like warm rugs. Part of me loved how wrong it was. Like finding tinsel in your sandwich. When it ended, I needed something small and human again. Moving on to a velvet voice, a perfect bow tie, and snow that falls in time with the music.
Fixed. Or two. You're supposed to be...
Bing Crosby's Christmas show.
Hey! Happy holiday! Happy holiday!
Here's the jaw dropper. Bing sharing a living room duet with a guest who shouldn't fit, and somehow it's perfect. The set looks like a quiet card shop at dusk, then those voices lock and time stops. You rarely see these now because estate approvals and song publishing stack up fast, and networks favor quick countdowns over full vintage variety hours.
The Hollywood Palace! Bing Crosby!
I remember the sound, soft, rich, calm, like snow on carpet, and Dad nudging the volume down like we were in a church. A hint of pine, a trace of cigarette smoke on an uncle's coat, and suddenly it felt like grown-up Christmas. When the last chord sighed out, I wanted a bit of sparkle and a bit of mischief, and a house where magic literally twitches her nose.
Make 'em rough and dry. Cornhuskers lotion makes 'em soft.
Bewitched. Sisters at Heart, 1970.
Hello, Mr. Stevens. It's nice meeting you.
A primetime Christmas story about race, crafted with help from high school students, tries to heal a cruel moment with a kind spell. Sabrina makes two girls look alike, and one office scene still stings modern eyes. It came from a good place, yet some beats land rough today. That mix, plus sponsor sensitivities and a few music cues, keeps it off many holiday lineups. I remember the window ticking with snow and the warm dust on heater smell while Samantha worked for a better ending. I wished real life fixed that fast. When the credits rolled, I needed a voice to lift the room again, bright, brassy, and wrapped in velvet like a music box opening. The Julie Andrews Christmas special.
Well, it's about time you showed up. You singers are all the same.
This feels like stepping into a music box. Julie and Soft Light strings so thick you almost feel them in the air. The TV oddity now is the long, unbroken songs. Beautiful for albums, tricky for reruns, plus multiple publishers on orchestral charts that complicate licensing. That's why stations mostly skip it. I remember the TV glow turning tinsel into silver rain, Mom shushing us with a smile, and the room tightening as Julie held a high note like a snowflake you don't want to melt. When it ended, I wanted something earthier. Boots on wood, a guitar that thumps your chest, and a voice with gravel and grace. Johnny Cash Christmas Special, 1976.
I'd like you to meet the best Christmas present I ever had, June Carter Cash.
Only Johnny can make Christmas feel like a front porch service and a backstage jam at once. Hymns meet outlaw charm. Friends wander on like family. It doesn't re-air much because the set list is a label and estate jigsaw with guest contracts that don't line up for modern slots.
Christmas time's coming. Two of the men you see here go back with me those Sundays. Marshall Grant goes back to the very beginning. Started together 22 years ago, Marshall Grant.
I remember the low boom of his guitar through our old speaker, like a heartbeat under the lights, and Dad tapping the armrest in time. The room smelled like coffee and cold pine. Silence sounded full when Johnny paused. He told a small story, grinned, and the house leaned in. When the last chord faded, I wanted glossy sparkle again. Snow, spotlights, and harmonies tied like ribbon. The Glen Campbell Goodtime Hour, Christmas Show, 1969.
My son, Travis, and since you saw him last year, well, they've been working on some Christmas songs, and I think we just about got one learned, hadn't we? Y'all ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Glen blends Nashville picking with TV sparkle. Guitar runs like sleigh bells, guests dropping in, jokes that feel made in the moment. You rarely see it now because the master was cut for a 69 ad map and stacked with multi-publisher medleys and guest clearances that don't line up today. I remember studio reds and golds running hot on our old set, cinnamon candy bright, while Mom's scissors snipped ribbon in time to Glen's finger picking. His easy grin felt like your neighbor waving from the porch. The whole hour played warm and handmade. When the credits rolled, I wanted a duo with sparkle and sass, two stars who tease each other, trade a carol, and throw snow like confetti. The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, Christmas Show, 1973.
Thank you.
Snow falls on set while the jokes poke at their real marriage. Playful, a little risky. Then they sing like nothing's wrong.
Boy, oh boy, gee willikers. Sonny and Cher's Christmas Show.
It's scarce now because the cue sheet is a long song list with split ownership, plus cameos that require one-off performance clearances. I remember the studio glow washing our living room in warm reds and golds, the faint hairspray and tinsel mix in my head, Dad laughing at Sonny's short gags, Mom humming when Cher held a note. It felt like a party where the grown-ups were being charming, not perfect. When the last punchline landed, I wanted more sparkle and bigger smiles. Two siblings skating into a winter world of their own. Donny and Marie, Christmas in Osmondland, 1976.
Right now. Let him have
They build a whole winter park on TV. Choirs, ice skates, squeaky clean jokes that still land. It's missing now because the set piece performances tie to special staging contracts, and the stacked medleys are a licensing maze. Cheaper shows win the slot. I remember the screen's shine making our ornaments glow like candy. Donny grinned, Marie twirled, and every sequin popped. The house smelled like cocoa and scotch tape. I tried a high note and cracked so hard the dog barked. We laughed anyway. It felt safe, bright, fast. Then I wanted something softer and strange. A small town snow globe that flips a classic on its head.
Atari would like to thank you for taking us into your homes.
It happened one Christmas, 1977.
Susie's petals.
Susie's petals.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Bert.
It's a Wonderful Life flipped. Mary gets George's story. Same angels, same bridge, but a woman at the center. Bold for network holiday TV. You rarely see it now because its rights brush up against the original's legacy, and some circulating copies never got top restorations, so stations default to evergreen staples. I watched a late night airing, lights off, tree blinking like tiny lighthouses. The film grain looked like snow. It felt familiar and new, like wearing your dad's coat and finding your own pockets. When it ended, I wanted something realer. No angels, just a daughter, a father, and Christmas that hurts before it heals. Next, the living room where grief sits like furniture until kindness moves it.
Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs. Gifts with mild cheddar cheese.
The House Without a Christmas Tree, 1972.
They don't have pine trees in Bethlehem, you dodo. They don't even have snow.
A daughter wants a tree. Her father says no. Grief sits in the living room like another chair. School contest. Paper ornaments. Stubborn silence. This one stings, then warms from the inside. It's scarce now because of quiet pacing, no pop song boosts, and programmers who fear heavy in cheery blocks. I remember watching with only tree lights on. The room smelling of pine and dusty radiator heat. Jason Robard's voice cold at first, then soft. I felt brave for not crying, then cried anyway. When the final hug came, I needed travel, choirs, and snow you can hear. A friendly dog who turns the world into a Christmas parade.
Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well.
Benji's very own Christmas Story, 1978.
Where are we?
Where are we? Yes, well, somewhere exactly between here and there.
Benji goes to Europe, meets a St. Nicholas parade, and tours Santa traditions with a famous choir, teaching while it smiles. It's rare now thanks to music rights, travel footage contracts, and guest terms that don't match modern reruns. I remember our dog's tail thumping the carpet as Benji wagged on screen, wet boots steamed by the door, snow sugar stuck to the window. I pressed my face close and fogged a circle while the choir lifted the room bigger than our block. When it faded, I was ready for a classic showman with a suitcase full of jokes and a flight jacket full of USO memories, the kind of Christmas special that salutes before it sings.
See? Even he knows Frank won the taste test.
Bob Hope Christmas Special, 1967.
Bob, you mean all that applause is for me?
Well, hell, if it's for me, this whole base is under arrest.
A suitcase show in 1 hour. Bob fires one-liners, then steps onto a USO stage and lifts a room full of homesick soldiers until they're laughing with misty eyes. The whiplash from silly to sincere is the magic. You almost never see it now because the cue sheet is a tangle. Different labels for songs, separate contracts for cameos, and clip rights that turn a rerun into a legal scavenger hunt. I remember Dad chuckling before a punchline even landed, the room smelling like pine and shoe polish, Mom's soft shh that still meant keep watching. When Bob saluted, we all sat straighter. The credits rolled like runway lights fading into night. Next, trade the runway for a red and gold stage and a voice smooth enough to butter toast. The Andy Williams Christmas Show, 1966.
I wonder what the $5 trees look like. Well, I've seen them, Andy. You know, they're so small, you can wear them home in your lapel.
Red and gold everywhere, sweaters neat as bows, and a voice so smooth it slows the room down. The twist is how big the music is. Long medleys, full orchestra, whole songs without a single gag. That's gorgeous for albums, but brutal for TV. Multi-publisher charts and fixed medley timings don't fit modern ad maps, so schedulers skip it. I remember tinsel trembling from the speakers. cinnamon in the air and warm dust from the TV tubes, Andy hit a high note and even the dog froze like he knew this mattered, peaceful in a way we don't get anymore. When the last carol faded, I craved a door slam, a country laugh, and a family barreling home with city lights in their eyes. Next, rich meets rustic, Christmas with a culture clash.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
The Beverly Hillbillies, Home for Christmas.
Well, Mr. Clampett, if you want to go home for Christmas, let me make the arrangements. I'll have you there tonight.
Brand new millionaires try to do Home for the Holidays, but Fancy runs straight into front porch habits. Oil money meets old-fashioned Christmas, and every scene wobbles between rich and rustic. It's rare now because early episodes sit inside older syndication bundles and December blocks chase color over black and white. I remember the laugh track bouncing off our ceiling, oranges and wrapping tape smell in the air. Granny cracking me up while Jed made everything feel safe. It ended with a grin that felt like a hug. After that big city meets country wobble, I wanted something smaller. A kid with a plan, a stubborn grown-up, and a gift that actually whinnies. Next stop, A Wish with Hooves.
Come see their complete selection of home and tree decorations. Beautiful tree lights, tree trimming, window decorations, and much, much more.
Dennis the Menace, the Christmas horse.
I ask every store Santa Claus I see about it. You know what it is? A horse. Can I have a horse?
1960. Dennis decides the perfect present isn't a toy. It's an actual horse. Adults panic, the town bends, and for 30 minutes, Christmas is hay, hoofbeats, and wide eyes. You don't see it much now. Black and white bias, vintage cues that need clearance, and simple stories that lose out to louder, faster ones. I caught it while trimming the bottom of the tree. Sap on my hands, a cold draft at the door, Dennis grinning until I did too. It reminded me the best gifts are messy and alive. The credits rolled and I wanted another living room classic. One where magic winks, a nose twitches, and an office learns kindness the strange way. If those old Christmas TV shows still make you smile, then I'm glad you came along for this little trip down memory lane. We just revisited the holiday specials that once lit up the screen. The variety hours, celebrity sing-alongs, and those cozy forgotten gems from the 60s and 70s. You can almost hear the studio laughter and smell the tinsel, right? These aren't just shows, and they're part of Christmas itself, pieces of a time that barely airs anymore. If you love that kind of nostalgia, stick around. I've got more deep dives into rare holiday specials, lost TV treasures, and the moments that made Christmas magic. Next up, holiday shows you were never meant to see again.